everybody, and welcome to Four Weebs, That Anime Podcast, the podcast where we pick some animes and talk about them. My name is Veda. I'm sick, so I'm sorry if there's random coughing or sneezing in the background. I'll try and mute the microphone when I can. I like anime. Anime is cool. I don't know what to say here, so,
Hi,
go watch anime.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm the interrupter. I don't have a lot of patience. And
No, I'm the interrupter.
No, I'm the interrupter!
No argument.
No, I'm the interrupter!
Becca's the interrupter.
I win!
Ian's the token asshole. Veda's the sick one.
No,
And, I don't
I'm
know.
known as the token asshole.
Hey,
I thought I
you
was
wanted this for yourself.
I brought this upon myself.
Yes. Well, you are the man.
Well, my name is Liam. I like anime, but at the time of recording this is very close to the release of Star Wars Episode 7, and that's all I can think about right now.
Shout out to our listeners quickly. For us, it's almost Christmas, but for you, it's probably almost Valentine's Day. So, kissy kissy, smush smush, go buy chocolates. I don't fucking know.
No.
Send me some chocolate. My name's Leah, and I love chocolate. My heart is about 600 pounds, even though I am not. Because I love food.
It's a lovely
We can all attest to that.
Yes.
Leah's
All right.
catchphrase, I'm hungry.
Yes. Next to, I have to pee.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me. I sound like I'm pregnant 80% of the time. Even though I'm not.
Leah's
so,
the consistently pregnant one. Good.
That's me.
Our
Love
sitcom is finished.
Right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
We're good. So for
Great.
those of you who are just kind of tuning in, I'll just explain the rules really quickly. Each week, the four of us draw marbles, and there are 4 marbles, and there's 1 red one. So whoever gets the red marble gets to pick 2 animes. 1 is good and 1 is bad. And then they also get to pick, but they also have to watch the bad anime. But they get to pick somebody who has to watch it with them from the remaining 3 people. So, drama will ensue. And we only watch the first 3 episodes of each anime. There will be spoilers for those 3 episodes, but everything else should be safe. And swearing. So
much swearing.
So don't watch
All
if
the
you're
swearing. And inappropriateness.
If you're a child, we will teach you the ways of the swearing adult.
Don't tell your parents though.
Oh god.
It wasn't our fault. You learned it from Timmy in your class.
Yeah. Repeat after me
Timmy.
though. Fuck. Good job,
Nope.
listener.
Okay, so I drew the red marble last time, so I got to pick the animes that we watched this week. And so I'm gonna start with the bad anime because then I can talk and get it over with. The anime I picked was Lance in Masques. The brief description I have is Yotaro Hanafusa is a young man who is part of the last remaining order of knights in the 21st century, Knights of the World. As he fights as the mysterious Knight Lancer, he must hide his identity behind a mask. One day he meets a girl named Makio Kidoin, and when finding that she lives alone, decides to watch over her. Sounds kind of creepy.
Makio-chan!
No.
Huh.
Okay. So, me and Becca watched that.
Yeah.
Becca, do you want to give me your initial thoughts?
Okay, initial thoughts. This anime is fucking ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like, holy shit, nothing is ever explained prior to it happening.
No.
That being said, it's kind of cute, and I could see myself potentially watching more, and I think there's redeeming features, so that's my story.
For me, I picked it because I kind of expected it, like, it was bad, but I kind of expected it to be more of, like, a fantasy-based show, and while there's, like, fantasy bits in it, I thought it was gonna take place in, a fantasy universe. The picture is, like, a guy with a lance on a horse, like a cape, and then a bunch of people in the front. I was like, oh, cool, they're gonna be, like, on an epic quest or something, but it's like, no, they're in like modern day Japan, and there's some moe shit going on. So
I noticed at the beginning, it says right on it, it's like, it's the 21st century.
yeah,
Knights still exist, but everything else is the same.
I don't understand how that works. There was that cool lady with the dragon around her neck at the beginning, and then she doesn't show up again. Like, where is she?
Well, and I'm just like, who the hell decided knights should kick around? Like, he
I
pulls
don't
out.
know.
I don't know. This is one of my issues with the anime, I guess.
Yep,
Ultimately,
we'll go into
but-
those. Yeah.
yeah, yes. It was really disappointing though. You like get teased with a dragon, and then it's pulled away from you immediately. It's like
I was
No.
was so ready for dragons, and
My-
it didn't happen.
my gimme hands were going, and I was like, I like dragons. That was real sad. Not
Just
great.
really wrestling my jimmies hearing you guys talk about this show.
Oh, I apologize.
No, I mean, like, I feel upset for you about this whole dragon incident.
You know, it strikes
Oh.
me as something that Brenna would appreciate because it's kind of like a trashy anime, to be honest.
A little bit.
Yeah, and
Are you saying my waifu is trash?
no, I'm saying that your waifu likes watching trashy anime is an ironic statement. Also,
Sorry,
Brenna,
Brenna.
yes.
No.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, Brenna.
Right. Right.
All right, Veda, do you wanna talk about it for a little while, or I'm sorry, I'm like hyped up on slushy
Oh,
and
gosh,
stuff,
no.
so I'm really energetic tonight.
If you have something you want to say right away, just go for it.
That's
Do you have anything?
that's a loaded question.
I don't mean it that way.
Well, Veda and I have already talked about it a little bit, actually, like on our Facebook chats and stuff like that,
Yeah.
about the things that were just like, why are they doing it that way?
Oh.
So Yotaro, it starts off with Yotaro being dubbed a knight, and I don't really want to spoil everything because I think that this is, like I said, this is an anime that I think you're either going to really like or you're really going to dislike.
It's like you're black or white on it. There's like no middle zone.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, it's like, if you're willing to just suspend your disbelief, it's a little bit like watching Jersey Shore. Either you appreciate it for how shitty it is, and otherwise enjoy, like, the other things that are going on, or you're just like, why would any idiot watch that?
Can I just say, like, praise whatever higher being there is, that that's no longer a thing?
I
mean, my
love
brain
Jersey
hurt.
Shore!
No, Becca, no.
Yes!
No.
But for all the
Stop.
wrong reasons, probably. I don't know.
Well,
There were no right or
don't-
wrong. I don't
no.
know. My
I-
brain hurts.
I'll fully admit
I'm
that
pretty sure Snooki has a podcast or something.
well,
Oh,
I don't
God.
like it that much, but it doesn't surprise me.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. We had a technical difficulty. Our call dropped. So, random edits.
Yeah.
Go, power.
Skype is not the most reliable at the best of times.
Skype is shit.
But here we are.
Yay. Right.
Cool. Alright, I believe I was defending Jersey Shore's honor.
Maybe,
And I was insulting it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And by all means, I completely understand that it's my taste where I'm like, I love this thing that is kind of shitty. So, far be it from me to be like, no, Jersey Shore's actually a really awesome show, guys. Or Lances and Masques is really awesome. No, I understand that it's pretty shitty. I just like it.
I don't even care if it's shitty. For me, it was just what it was doing to society. But anyway, again.
Was it doing anything to society, though? I feel like a lot of people were just laughing at Jersey Shore people. And I don't see Lance and Masks having a far-reaching impact on anybody.
no, it really doesn't go there.
Yeah. So,
Um,
back to enough about Jersey Shore and back about
Back to some anime.
Lance and Masks. What was the one thing we were talking about, Veda? In the very first episode, it's really confusing because he gets dubbed a knight,
Yep.
and he gets his lance,
Yeah.
and then he's setting off to... I don't even think he's
He,
going
like-
to do a quest. He's just
He's
walking
just
somewhere.
He's just, I think the whole point was I was confused because he gets dubbed or whatever in like this huge castle thing or whatever, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go find women to help or something? I don't
Yes.
remember. It
Which-
was something stupid like
Damsels
that.
in distress.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
it's the 21st century, though, guys. Speaking for myself, I'm okay. I can do it.
Mhm. I know,
Sometimes
he's
I
like,
don't like to, but I'll do it.
yeah, I think he was like, I need to find a lady. I
Yes.
was like, okay. So then he just walks for a bit, and then he's in a city, and I was like, okay, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
We were at a castle.
The show likes to make really big transitions where it's going from, like, one scene to another, but the thing that's happening in the second scene is a little bit disjointed from where we came from.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is something that I noticed happening a lot, where it's like in the third episode when he's running to find
Whatever her name is.
Mako?
Makio?
bars across the windows so he's stuck.
Yeah, and then it was like all electric-y.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when he gets out of that, the very next scene of him is him running onto like a soccer pitch. But there's no transition between the two, and it was just very much like, well, where did he, how did he...
How the fuck did he get there?
And then he's riding his horse on top of it. So, and that's where the show is kind of like...
They never, like, completely finish one thought before they move on to the next one.
Yeah, and it's doable, but it's just kind of annoying, more so.
It is.
I'm trying to reduce the amount that I claim that things confuse me, because sometimes it isn't that I'm confused in general, like I don't know what's going on. It's more I don't understand why they make the choices that they do, and
Yeah.
like I can understand leaving something to a mystery to create dramatic intrigue, but then at the same time, if you don't do it properly, it just comes off as a lack of reason for why things are happening, and that's where the confusion comes from, rather than like actually being confused about what is happening in the moment.
Yeah.
I really like when he first meets Makio-chan, and she's climbing up like a hill mountain thing.
I don't know what that was.
It looks like a giant termite mound.
It was like a mountain in the middle of a park.
Yeah, and then she loses her footing.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than just slide down the mountain, in pure anime fashion, she loses her footing and springs off the side of the mountain.
Basically, like, launches herself outward towards the ground.
Which was just mind-boggling, to say the least.
It's anime.
Yeah, and
that fucking happened.
And that's the part where I'm like, oh, it's an anime, that's fine. That's dumb, but that's fine. And then he saves her, but when he saves her, he puts on this mask that he had been given, and he becomes Night Lancer, and the mask is badass.
The mask is nice, but
this
the one thing I had
so bad.
I know.
It's
the
really
problem I had with that scene was that he needed the lance to save her.
Yes.
It was like, and this lance isn't like small, it's like twice the size of him.
Yes.
So he's like carrying it, and then he like grabs her, and you're like, why did you need that?
Yes.
There's no point.
And yeah, well, there's.
But the lance has a point.
Yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say. Liam read my mind. It's almost too bad that Liam didn't get to watch this, because I feel like this would just outrage Liam so much. We would have another school days exam.
Sorry again.
Yes.
No, it was good. It was good, Leah.
So
I feel kind of bad after Andrew saying it was it's like a deconstruction or whatever. I'm like, am I not smart enough to realize this, or is he trolling us again?
No, I think that was purely bullshit. I disagree with Andrew. I do not think it's you know what, listeners, point me to the article that explains the deconstruction and I will read it. But no, School Days was shit. Just pure shit. Back to the topic at hand. Go, Veda.
Points I have. There were some things where, it kind of felt like they were trying to push an almost, like, romantic relationship
between
on the
him
main character and
the little girl.
So he's going into high school, so he's like 16, 17, and there's this 6-year-old girl, and she's like, I love you, we're gonna get married.
But she doesn't love him, she loves Night Lancer, that's the part.
That's still him!
But, well, that's the part that was the other thing that I thought was stupid. He changes from, changes being in quotation marks, he puts on his mask.
A same transformation.
It's like a Clark Kent situation.
Yeah, it really is, because it's basically like, the girl is standing right beside him, he walks around a corner, he puts on the mask, he walks back around the corner, and she thinks it's a different person. Now, it is a 6-year-old, and 6-year-olds don't have nearly as much life experience as us, but this particular 6-year-old is stupid as a sack of apples. Like, not good.
Nope. I completely agree with you.
Yes. That's one of the things that, like, really, really got me
there was
up.
That. Yeah, no. That, and then they were, like, kind of building a harem around him, too.
Yes.
So they're like, here's his little weird romantic relationship with a 6-year-old, and also there's all of these other women over here. They're gonna be a harem later on, but not right now.
But perhaps my favorite woman in the harem is the horse.
No, she's not.
I'm not even... Okay, so I forget what the horse's name is, and I feel really
expand.
bad.
I don't remember.
So, in the first episode, while he's off traveling and saving this little girl, there's another woman, like 16-year-old girl, and, well,
The
there's two
blonde chick, right?
16-year-old girls. Yeah, a blonde chick, and then another girl that has kind of like, really light brown hair that also has ears. And you go, that's weird, because no one else has ears. But
Yep.
it's an anime, so...
They're like walking down the street normally.
Yeah, so keep going, and like they're having a conversation. They're both looking for the main character Yotaro, and then at the end of the episode, the girl that had ears is actually a white horse.
And like
And-
she was talking normally at that point, but
Yeah.
then from that point on, she never
says
is a
anything.
person ever again.
Yeah.
She's a horse, and she just goes nay.
Yeah,
You're like, what the fuck?
and she's a really cute horse,
Right?
but it's so weird.
They never explain it. Like, why was she a person and now she's a horse?
and now she's a horse that doesn't
Because
say
they felt like
anything.
it.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
So it's only the first episode where she's a person. Like an actual person that carries on conversations.
Yeah.
And then for the other two episodes, I mean, perhaps she becomes a person again. But in the other two episodes, she's always a horse.
Mhm.
She doesn't speak English. She just follows him around. And the other girl as well that ends up being his, what's the word for, like, an assistant to him.
A squire.
Yes. She's the
Yeah.
squire to Yotaro, which doesn't make any sense either because Yotaro is 16 and he just became a knight, and this other girl also seems like she's 16, but she has to be a squire. That doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
That's
and
because she's a lady.
yeah, and it hints that he's special because his dad was a special knight
Oh,
back in the past.
that's the other thing I was gonna say.
Oh, go Veda.
Creepy thing. So they're like, yeah, that's your dad, and I'm like, oh, that's
Oh.
your dad.
In the third season, in the third episode,
Yes.
the guy on the roof.
His dad looks the same age as he does.
See, I thought I
They
misunderstood.
both look like they're 16.
I thought I misunderstood that for a moment because I was
Me
like,
too.
nah, there's no way. Like, I know that all anime characters look timeless, but nah, he's not his dad.
Nope. And then they're like, oh, my son, and you're like, wait, what the
Mhm.
fuck? I don't know. Maybe he's like a clone or something. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
sorry. It's super weird though. Because
Maybe.
they don't explain it yet. Like, yeah, maybe a clone, some sort of magic shit happened.
No, I think his dad is dead and it's a ghost.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. But his dad did that, like, thing, and then the coffin with the lance in it showed up. I don't know.
Yeah. There's so much going on, and this was where it comes back to like, if they just put a couple filler episodes in, everything would make or filler scenes,
even.
everything would make sense. But it does.
Like, they need to connect the dots.
Yeah. My other favorite part is like we discussed. There's a maid, this little girl. So when he
Which
saves
made.
Makio, it turns out that she's a 6-year-old girl that lives by herself in a giant mansion.
Mhm.
And she's there because her dad is elsewhere. And I feel like it's kind of hinted that her dad is like a crime boss. But
I think so.
she's basically being taken care of by all these maids, but all the maids leave for the evening except one,
Yeah.
and that particular maid that stays the evening she's not the head maid, but
She's just
somehow
one of the maids.
somehow she's responsible for everything. So
The other maids like did 3 things, and then they're like, "We're going home," and
Yeah,
then they left her there, and she's like, "I guess I have to stay," and I'm like, "But why?"
yeah, the other maid
A bunch of stuff doesn't make sense.
yeah, and that's where it's like. It's obvious that she's just like she's a main character in there, and she fits in the whole like harem thing and the whole like they're there to protect this little girl thing. But it's like it's just not fully formed, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
And then later on, another one of the maids is connected to crime bosses. Like, I really want the reason why I like the show is because I feel like there's potential that it could get more fantasy and less crime family.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were to do that, it would be a mess, and I would be into it.
Yeah.
But I also worry that it's going towards the crime family thing with this one guy that dresses up like a knight, and he's obviously supposed to be like the superhero that protects the little girl. But
I don't know.
There needs to be more there for it to work properly. My very favorite part is that at the end of the third episode, Makio is...
Are you gonna talk about what she says to him?
Yes,
I was gonna mention that because it's so dumb.
as I was listening to it, I was like, no, you're losing all redeeming qualities!
I know, it was so bad. Okay, go.
Yeah, so in episode 3, Makio gets quotation marks kidnapped by her father, which was a whole other kettle of fish that I guess I can loop back to in a moment. But and then Yutaru goes and saves her. Yutaro, sorry. He goes and saves her and gets her back from her horrible, horrible father that's just trying to take his 6-year-old with him somewhere.
I don't know.
Which...
They never explain it.
Yeah, they never explained it, so there's obviously more going on. But anyway, she gets there, and leading up to that, she's all about how much she respects Knight Lancer, and how much
she wants to be just like him.
She wants to be just like him. She wants to be a hero. She wants to be a knight.
It's really cute, and you're like, oh yeah, go be a hero, little 6-year-old.
Yeah, you can
do it.
You can fucking do it, because you're a woman in the 21st century, and you can do whatever the hell you want. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And then, when he saves her from the crime family, her immediate reaction is to say... He says something along the lines of, I will always be there to protect you, which she takes to mean he will marry her eventually and always be there to protect her. So she now no longer has any interest in becoming a knight. She's completely invested in becoming a lady that is worthy of...
A man.
I'm
sorry, that really pissed me off.
Yeah, no, we'll just let that sink in for a moment, because I was hoping for more outrage from our other listeners. Yes.
I'm speechless.
I was so mad when that happened.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Well, that's the part where I was like, why would you do that?
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Alright.
So are you gonna watch more of it?
I might.
Really?
Because maybe it changes again. Like, it's so all over the place that maybe in another episode she decides, fuck it, I'm gonna go become, like, a wrestler. That's how ridiculous it is. So...
It's, like...
And then it turns into an Ultimate Muscle spin-off.
Oh, gross. So, I mean, the animation is really, really pretty.
It's
certain
nice.
Points.
The colors are pretty.
There's definitely different points where the quality of the animation looks shitty, and then there's points where the quality of the animation looks really good. So it's average for that. It's good enough, and there's shiny colors, so that also attracts me. I like shiny things. The character design is really cute and and very anime style with the really big eyes and stuff like that, but not. I don't know. Yeah, it looks nice. That attracts me. You never know. Like I said, maybe the little girl becomes a wrestler in the next episode, and she wrestles the fucking horse, which then turns into a person. I don't know, but maybe it might actually happen. That's the issue. So I might watch more of this. I'll keep people in touch. I'll let people know if I do.
Okay.
Yeah, Veda.
Right. For me, my closing thoughts were basically, it's lame. I don't care about anybody. I literally hated every character. I didn't like anywhere the plot was going, and it just kept getting worse. And the action scenes were terrible. So no, I actually almost fell asleep.
Well, yeah, the action scenes were pretty shitty.
They were so bad, and they were trying to we're gonna add more action. I was like, don't.
Yeah.
Just pick the moe genre and go that way.
There's so much more that could be talked about, but yeah, it's just...
Yeah, I know. I would not keep watching it.
Yeah. See, and I would, because it's a topic for conversation and thought.
There you go.
Woo.
Okay, so we will move on to the good anime. Sorry, the bad anime took so long.
It always takes longer.
I know. So the good anime for this week was One Punch Man, which I know is really popular.
One Punch!
Do you want me to do the description, or do you want to take
Sure.
that?
Sure.
Okay. So the one I have here is everything about a young man named Saitama screams average, from his lifeless expression to his bald head to his unimpressive physique. However, this average-looking fellow doesn't have your average problem. He's actually a superhero that's looking for tough opponents. The problem is, every time he finds a promising candidate, he beats the snot out of them in one punch. Can Saitama finally find an evil villain strong enough to challenge him?
Yeah.
Do you want to go
sounds
first,
great.
Leah?
Sure. I guess my opening thoughts were when you hear the description, you're kind of like, okay, well, then what is the point of the anime going to be, or how is this going to be interesting? Because the whole point is there is literally no enemy that like can defeat him. He's like
Yeah.
undefeated.
Mhm.
But it's actually just kind of hilarious. Like the way they like execute the humor. It's just like the first 3 episodes really all it is just kind of you're being introduced to the One Punch Man and how average he is and how he wants a good fight. Like he actually does. Like he's bored with like just beating everyone in one punch. But
Yeah.
like it sounds so boring, but that's the thing, like when you watch it, like it's really not.
It's
like just
just-
the way they execute
They just
the humor.
really go over the top with the animation and the monsters he fights, which is a good juxtaposition to him because he just like wears this yellow leotard with red gloves and a cape, and his face is like purposely drawn really simplistically. Unless he like has a monologue, then it just gets like really shaded and
Intense
detailed.
and like all like Dragon Ball Z kind of thing.
Nice.
Does it look
He
like?
used sorry?
I was gonna say the few pictures I've seen, it reminds me of Bobobo. Does it do? Is it that extreme?
Kind of. It's done in like a nicer, like more modern than goofy way. I know that sounds
Okay.
really weird. Like I would give it more of the comparison of like Dragon Ball Z
Mm-hmm.
than Bobobo, because Bobobo I found was more of like that typical like cartoon dramatization, not as much of just like an anime
Mm-hmm.
dramatization, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Cool.
And yeah, so he's the main character. He's bald because he trained so hard he lost all of his hair, so it just makes him like even more average.
I mean, we probably shouldn't reveal it, but the way he explains his training in the 3rd episode is so funny.
It is so funny. I mean,
We won't
you know,
spoil it because this one's worth watching.
yeah, that's true.
Ah.
That one was pretty good. It was funny. I don't know. What did you think at first, Liam?
It was like I was a little hesitant at first because I had just finished like a big kind of satire anime of Kill la Kill, and Kill la Kill is like really over the top as well.
Mhm.
But this one's like it's more of a parody of like fighting animes like Dragon Ball Z, so it's different enough, and it's like I was still like uneasy at first because like he's drawn really simplistically, and the city he's kind of animated in is pretty generic, but the monsters are like so bizarre. Like one of them is just this. It's just like this big pair of like hairy man legs and tidy whities, and then the top half
Yeah.
is just this big lobster man.
What?
And like the voice actor, like every sentence he has, there's like a laugh, but it's like go 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 go.
Oh my gosh.
And the way he like, and this is in a scene from before, like he's One Punch Man, so like the fight they have it has a pretty colorful ending. And
Nice.
I love how it kind of happens in like the intro sequence and like a few times every episode. It's just like shots of him getting groceries, and they just kind of put this emphasis on like how much he loves just going to the grocery store and buying groceries, or him
Yeah,
just like
like,
hanging
I-
out in his 1-bedroom apartment. He's like, I think I'm gonna have eggs on rice tonight. And then he just like watches TV in his apartment, and he's got like his shelf of manga.
And there's one point, like, this is kind of a spoiler of a funny part, but whatever, where he's, like, in the middle of fighting this, like, huge, like, boss guy, and, like, he's, like, the fighting's getting, like, intense on the, like, evil guy's end, and all of a sudden the main character, he just starts getting, like, really, like, upset, and, like, oh my gosh, like, I totally made a mistake, and you, like, think it's, like, he's, like, underestimating the villain's strength, but it's because he's, like, thought it was Saturday instead of Sunday, and he like missed the grocery sale.
Yeah, but he like freaks out about it.
Great.
And
Yeah.
then he like pulls this flyer out of his pocket, and it's like it's just like a flyer for like this huge sale, 1 day only, ridiculous savings.
Yeah,
And he's like, no.
and
then
his,
his teammates,
sidekick is
like-
we can still make it.
Yeah, his teammate's like, this doesn't close for another hour. We could still make it. And he's like, oh, let's go. And then he
just,
just
like,
like
leave the
punches
villain,
the
though.
guy in one hit, kills him, and leaves.
That sounds great.
Also, there's
Watch
just so many
the
scenes
show.
where like the villain is like just the amount of detail in his animation is like 2 times what One Punch Man's is, and there's just like this huge monologue and build-up sequence with so much flexing and transformation And then One Punch Man is just like, and like it's like a really gory explosion of like chunks of this guy.
I think that's what
That's great.
makes this anime work, and like what makes it interesting is even though like it's like a really basic plot line, just the way they like stylize it and like the way they do the humor, it's just really works for it, I think. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to explain without, you having like watched an episode, but like yeah, because at first I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be really boring," and it's like not my kind of anime at all. But it's actually really entertaining.
Yeah, one concern I have with it, if I ever watch anymore, it's like, okay, so is One Punch Man, he kills everybody with one punch. So what happened? Like, where does the show go
I
from
agree,
there?
yeah, like,
does
what
he
happens?
eventually run into an enemy that like doesn't take one punch, or
What
like,
if he
yeah,
becomes
I
the enemy?
just have no
Oh.
idea where this show's gonna go.
I like
Which
that.
like
But I
makes
guess it's
you
a
want to
brand
watch
new
it
show,
more.
so.
Yeah, it makes you want to watch more, but at the same time, you're kind of like, there's been so many animes where the plot line does just go stale, and especially with like fighting animes too.
Hmm.
It like I feel like you would have to start getting into something plot wise like pretty quick, or else I'd lose interest really fast. But I mean, I've never been the kind of person. I've never liked like every episode is a different arc kind of animes. I've always liked more of the like overarching kind of plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, in regards to like fighting animes, there's only so many ways you can show somebody punching somebody else out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I mean, again, based off the first couple episodes, like it is impressive that they managed to make something like that still entertaining and not boring. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot I can say about it other than it was funny and like interesting how they did it. It's basically all I can really say. It's hard unless you'll watch an episode, really.
Yeah, you
I
guys
don't
should
know.
watch the episode. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I feel like I'll probably sit down with, because I watched the 3 episodes with Brenna because she had seen a couple, and she'd actually bought some of the manga for it too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she likes it, so I'll probably sit down and watch more with her eventually.
Nice. So you'll be able to give us a update on where the story goes.
Possibly, yes.
If it goes anywhere.
But
Hopefully
you
it
should
does.
watch it
It
too.
probably will.
So
I feel like it would
conclusion-
because I've heard a lot about it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Conclusion is that I will keep watching the show, but it's not like, well, I don't know, it could be something I could binge through. I guess there isn't a lot of it, and like it's entertaining enough you can't just binge through it.
That's good.
I feel like I might watch it here and there. I don't think I'll, unless something really interesting happens, I probably won't like binge watch it, but I feel like I know enough people who are watching it right now that I'll probably end up seeing more.
It is quite a
So,
popular
yeah.
show, if
It
I
is.
recall. I've heard about it a couple
Yeah,
of times. now.
which keeps my hopes up for it,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's really big right now for like one of the 2015 season animes. It's
Yeah, it is.
pretty up there. So yeah,
Yeah,
My
I mean, I've
conclusion, I
seen
guess, is,
I've
yeah, I
seen
guess
One
I'll watch
Punch
more.
Man memes on my Facebook, so
Mhm.
Oh gosh, so have I.
yeah.
All over everywhere. One Punch Man.
hmm
Right. Sounds
So yeah,
good.
I'll watch more, I guess, if I can. And I'd recommend it to the listeners to go give it a watch. It's different for the genre it is, so
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're good.
Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So we're gonna do marble pull now.
Yes. So,
We-
Beta, you were Red Marble last
Uh,
time.
I was red marble again.
So that means you get to pick the animes for the upcoming week again? Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
I have them here.
So
it's
Marble
been a Veda double feature.
it has
Dun,
been
dun.
Beta Dove. It's good because she spends so much time not being at the bottom. So
Watching all the good stuff.
I know. I didn't get to pick for a long time.
yeah. Alright. So Marble draw first, then animes? I always
Yes.
forget what order
Yeah.
we do this.
Yeah, marble draw then anime.
Alright.
Suspense up.
This is me shaking them up. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Alright, Leah, you get a white marble.
Huzzah.
Hurrah! Who next?
Me.
Liam, you get a white marble.
Oh.
Same as
Oh
last.
boy.
Okay, Becca, you draw next.
I
Alright.
can't go.
Becca
through-
gets
Oh,
a white marble as well, actually.
It's
Oh, so that
exactly
means
I
Veta's
think-
the red again.
Beta's
I
the
think-
red again.
Don't we
Should
do
we
a
just redraw?
Because we have made a rule a while ago where it was like, I think
Did
the
we
rule
go
was
for 2 or 3 times?
was
I think
2.
2 is good, yeah.
It
It
was
doesn't
so
matter.
reroll.
We make our own fucking rules.
Yeah.
I was
It
gonna
was
say,
2.
Yeah.
not sure if it was a rule necessarily, but it was more a mulligan,
A guideline.
because I also had my time on the bottom where it just sucked tits.
Redraw.
So-
But that's why we changed it.
Draw again. I'll go first.
Alright, Liam, you are a white marble.
Okay.
Who's next? Let's do Veta next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't
Veta is a
know.
white marble.
Woo.
Woo! I don't want Leah to be the red marble. Leah, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Leah is the red. Fuck my life.
Wonderful.
Come on, guys. I'm not that bad.
Oh yeah. No, you pick wonderful animes that are enjoyable and not horrible at all.
Okay, Leah, who are you dragging down with you?
Oh, I don't know. Part of me just wants to pick Becca now.
Oh dear.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think who hasn't watched a lot of the bad ones yet.
I think we're starting to even out a lot
I
now
think
at this point.
A
so.
little bit, yeah.
I think so.
It now gets personal.
Alright, Becca, let's do it.
Fuck. No.
Hooray, I'm safe.
I love you.
Okay.
I really hope Veda doesn't
Okay.
pull a Leah.
We'll find out. So the theme I picked for this week was science fiction, virtual reality kind of thing. From what I read in the descriptions, both of them have to do with virtual reality to some degree.
I really hope this doesn't become another Ghost in the Shell episode where I just recite
please.
my entire
I
BA.
don't think so. So the good anime I chose for this week was one I hadn't actually heard of before, and it's called Deno Coil. The description is 11 years after the introduction of internet-connected augmented reality eyeglasses and visors, Yuko Okonogi moves with her family to Daikoku City, the technological center of the emerging half-virtual world. Yuko joins her grandmother's investigation agency comprised of children equipped with virtual tools and powerful meta tags. She quickly crosses paths with Yuko Amasawa, an expert hacker of the virtual environment, as Amasawa quickly seeks to unlock the mystery of a computer virus that emerges from an inaccessible corrupted space. So it's kind of like
Sounds
virtual
cool.
Ooh.
mystery, I guess.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, that's what me and Liam get to watch.
Sounds fiction-y.
For the bad anime, some of our listeners might know this. It's kind of
Oh,
infamous,
God.
but you guys probably don't. Dramatical Murder.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Have you?
This sounds
Yes.
excellent.
Yes, I have.
Don't worry, the anime is not. Yep. The story takes place many years in the future where the game Rhyme, a virtual fighting game, is incredibly popular and people possess all-mates, convenient AI computers. Aoba leads an ordinary life working at a junk shop and living with his grandmother on the island of Midorijima, something like that. Unlike his friends, he doesn't participate in Rhyme, nor does he belong in a gang. Somehow that's relevant. However, when rumors of people disappearing spread, Aoba finds himself needing to unravel the mysteries behind the island in order to protect his everyday life. I don't know how accurate.
Okay.
Sounds like
Sorry.
a TV show.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds great.
I will post those later.
Okay,
Leah and I will
Okay.
have lots to talk about.
Oh, yes. Probably.
Excellent.
so
Wonderful.
that's a wrap, folks.
I think
That's
so.
it for today.
That's
Thank
it.
you
Thanks for listening.
Arigato.
Bye.
Yay.
Talk to us on Facebook or something. Bye!
Send us messages.
Send us messages of
I'm done
love.
recording.
Mm.
No.